Hello, Base Desar here, and this video is going to be about autoloaders. I'm going to talk a bit about autoloaders, which ones are good, which ones are bad. I'm going to put them in a bit of an order about which I consider to be bad and which I consider to be good. I'll give you my reasons as I get to them, and here you've got a nice animation of the Russian T-series of tanks and like how their autoloaders work. Um, but the one I really want to start off is the French. You see, the fucking baguette technology that they had to put inside is weird. It's bad. Like, for example, the AMX-13, right? It was an amazing tank. It was wonderful. It was great. However, its autoloader system, it left a lot to be desired from. So basically, right, its autoloader system allowed it to have the crew count reduced from 4 to just 3, which is amazing because France was having demographic issues, just like they had after World War One. And it's also that for example, if you have 120 men, they can crew 40 tanks instead of just 30. 10 extra tanks is an absolutely amazing firepower advantage. However, the way the French designed that autoloader, it had two major issues. First one is you had to have an oscillating turret for it. Why is that an issue? Well, you see, when you have an oscillating turret, you can't put NBC protection into it. And you see, these were the early days of NBC protection at the time. However, the T-55 had NBC protection, and if you have basically something that makes you not be able to have something which your opponent has, well, that kind of sucks. And remember, in the arms race, Russia is they're the poor and hungry, starving people who basically, because they took part in the arms race, they fell apart because they couldn't afford it. So yeah. So if they have something and you're not able to have it because you're really stubborn about having a certain feature, well, that's kind of detrimental to you in the grand scheme of things. The second reason why I don't really like the French AMX autoloader is like, yeah, it does its job, it autoloads and all that, it gets rid of the loader. However, there's a bit of an issue with it. You see, you can only have 12 rounds in your turret, and once you're done, you can't just like start loading from the hull. You have to get outside of your tank and load the autoloader, which in combat leaves you extremely vulnerable to enemy fire. So what a lot of AMX-13 users would basically do is they would have two AMX-13s which would be in combat, and two would just stay behind. And once the two firing are done, they just let out the whole load. They would switch places, and the ones who were behind would be now in combat, and the ones that were in combat would go behind, they would load it. What you've basically done is when you have your, the amount of tank firepower on the front line, you halved it. Which kind of fucking sucks for you. And for the infantry as well. Like, having a tank stay in combat as long as possible is kind of important. So yeah. However, it was made for a certain job, to load the ammo. It did that job. It did it pretty well. A lot of crews liked it. It did make the tanks a bit cramped though. So yeah. But listen, those were the early times of autoloaders, so we could give it some forgiveness, cut it some slack. And next we're gonna talk about the Russian T-series style of autoloader. So, T62, T90, T72, T90, T64, T80. It works almost practically the same. Here you have a very good animation of how it basically works. So, the benefits of it, the tank can have a lower profile. The center of gravity is lowered, so you have a smaller tank, so therefore harder to hit. And also because it's smaller, it's cheaper, and you can put also when you have a smaller tank, it's easier to up armor it and to put good armor into it. You know, a lot of those things, but it has one massive major issue, which I would like to highlight right now. And if you want to ask, Hussar, what the fuck did you just show me? What the fuck did I witness? Well, what you saw there is the T-72 belonging to the enemy Russian exploding. Why? Because, look, the crew is sitting on top of a fucking bomb. Okay? All the ammo is just right underneath the crew, and also a bit scattered all around the tank. When it gets hit, and it goes boom boom fucky wucky, you're dead, okay? We've all seen massive amounts of Russian turrets flying and the crew joining the Russian space program. Yes, I know that meme is fucking dead. Okay, so it compromises the crew's survivability a lot, which is why you see a lot of Russian tanks, they're gonna have a lot of ERA on the sides as well, and they're just gonna put, like, you know, a lot of different protections all around the tank. Um, that autoloader system, like, yeah, it works. It's good. It's better, just more effective than the French autoloader system. But then again, there's the issue of survivability. Like, you're not gonna survive this, and crew survivability is extremely important because, listen, once a crew member of a tank dies, the experience, the combat knowledge, all that goes with them, and the training is wasted. That is something extremely way harder to replace than a tank. Okay? And this is why Western MBTs are made the way they are. They are way more survivable. For example, the M1 Abrams, right? You hit the turret where the ammo is stored. The crew is going to survive and they're going to be fine. They will be a bit uncomfortable, but they'll just go back to the base or whatever, get the turret fixed up, and they can go back into battle. All their combat training and experience is going to stay with them. But in the Russian T series of tank, this won't happen. The ammo gets hit, tank go boom boom fucky wucky, you're dead, you've lost all your experience and everything, and yeah, and you're about to find out if God is real. So there you go. That is why I consider it as, like, not the best autoloader system, but it's also not the worst autoloader system out there. But the best autoloader system out there is, we're going back to the French, it's the Leclerc autoloader system. It's also used on the Japanese Type 10 and the Type 90, and also I believe on the Korean K2. Why is it the best? Well, because it allows you to have blowout panels, and also because it's really fucking fast. I saw a video of I think it was the Type 10 or the Type 90, where it could reload in 3.5 seconds. That is amazing. Um, the only issue is, like, you know, when you have the ammo that's in the turret that is stored in blowout panels, but the ones that aren't stored in the turret, you know, the stuff that's in the hull doesn't have blowout panels, which kind of sucks. However, modern NATO ammunition, it's made in a way that even when it's struck, it won't explode, which is pretty amazing, and it's an absolutely freaking cool thing for ammunition development. Um, so yeah, I think that, like, any tank, any new tank out there that's gonna have an autoloader should really adopt that system. And from what I can tell, the KF-51 Black Panther, KF-51 Panther, is gonna have it. T-14 Armata is gonna have it. Abrams X is gonna have it. So, multiple countries have kind of all agreed that this is the best autoloader system out there. This is the best way. This is the go-to. So, the French made a shitty autoloader at the beginning, but now they've made something that's the best, and a lot of countries are just gonna copy it. So yeah, this was Basis R. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, or Christian is gonna come to your house and become a motherfucker again.